Could we have ever got Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar in MMA?
I think it would have been awesome. I think we would have broke some numbers. I think it would have got crazy. But a lot of people try to talk like if I was chasing Brock or anything like that. I was like, no. When I first came in, a lot of people just naturally fantasy book. They were like,
well, you guys,
Bobby and Brock.
You guys are just, have very similar body compositions, right?
Yeah. And we both had kind of similar characters. I didn't accomplish the things that Brock did, but people still looked at it as if Brock needs a matchup, that's the guy he should be matched up with. So they looked at it that way. And then when I went into fighting, they did the same thing. They were like, let's get him to fight. And, we never really matched as far as time. When Brock got back into fighting, I was into wrestling. Mm-hmm. When I got out of wrestling into fighting, Brock got into wrestling, or he wasn't doing it. So we never really were in the same environment at the same time until I was in WWE and he came back. And that was the first time we were in the same place at the same time.
That's when you guys finally had the match that people had been talking about, I think at that point for like 15 years.
Yeah. I wanted to do a lot more with it. I wish we could have really did the things that we could have and should have and wanted to do with that.
Like what?
Man, I think, I think people would have been I think people could have really got sold into just us training to fight each other and some of the heat that we could have brought. Like Brock was a natural bully, but in this sense, he was kind of a babyface because he was that guy coming back and forth and I was a heel at the time. But it could have showed how we prepared for a fight with each other. And it could have showed something different. Like it could have been so much like the Rocky story. Hell, if they wanted to, they could have put us two together and kind of ran as like a doggone Road Warriors kind of for a while. And then like I even went to a point where I was like, man, wouldn't it be cool if they would have brought us both back here and then put us together, had Paul Heyman find a way to put us both together. And then the whole time we win tag team titles and he keeps referring to, I got the greatest fight in the world and the greatest tag team. And then it got to a point where like, who you keep talking about as the greatest fighter? Because you're only saying one person, so that could have built some natural animosity there. And it's like, hold on a second, man. I know you and Brock have this history, but you keep saying you have the greatest fighter and the greatest tag team. So like, who are you referring to? And it could have been my ego got in the way or something like that. Whatever it was, whatever it did, but it brought us apart. Because they always say that some of the best feuds are the people that were together first and something brought us apart. Could have been. I don't know if we could have put us two together as a tag team because it might have been too dominant. But I still see there were some people in there that we could have had great fights with and great matches with if we needed to.